Hello everybody. So, I don't know how this is going to look. I'm hoping I got the camera in the right position because today my GoPro app has decided not to work very well. So, it's not letting me see the preview of the screen. So, we're going to hope it's in the right position. Got this going on. And
let's go.
Right, thank you.
Turn left onto Barton Street.
I'm going to turn you
then
off.
Then turn right onto A6143.
Yep,
Liverpool
I get it.
Road.
I get it. Cool. Sweet. Right, let's go. Right, hope everyone is alright. Welcome back to another video, Drive Time with Elle, and we are rolling. So, obviously we've been in lockdown for the last 4 months, okay? We've been, you know, having to stay indoors, having to do what we would do to control the virus, help NHS, all that stuff. And everyone has obviously experienced it in different ways. Lots of ups, downs, you know, personally I have, you know, some days, well, I don't really say it's days, I say it's like weeks, you know, some weeks have really productive, positive weeks. The next weeks are just maybe a bit slow, so therefore I don't feel as good because I didn't get as much done. But that is sort of a natural cycle of life, you know, and today's video and the subject I want to talk about is how positivity always trumps negativity. Now, we've heard this before, like, God knows how many times in life nowadays is like, you know, always be positive, always that, but that's not always the easiest thing to do. You know, especially like myself, I'll use myself as an example. One of my goals every day is to be the most positive person in the room. That doesn't mean like loud and obnoxious or, you know, over the top. It just means you've got to attack everything in a positive way as opposed to a negative. Now, don't get me wrong, negative thoughts are natural and they're natural to everyone, you know, and it is totally inevitable that everyone will at one point. And I've spoke about it a little bit before, and I speak about it to people a lot, is that we have a choice every time something happens, is to be positive or negative, essentially. But what I want to talk about today is like the control of the power of positivity. So what I mean by that is, because positive and negative are very natural aspects of life, it's very easy to control both sides of it. Example, if you want to be super positive and super, you know, like, no matter what happens, you've always got a positive mindset, you're always doing that, that's doable. Same negative, if you want to be a negative Nancy, and you can be, sorry to people called Nancy, never even thought of that, you know, if you want to be negative all the time, that's in your control as well. However, what you've got to be aware of when you're controlling all of these emotions and all of this power that you have is you've got to be considerate of other people who maybe not seeing the situation itself. Again, I'll draw myself as an example. So, what I used to do is I used to be so over the top positive that I would forget about everything else, like everybody else. And for me, it was like, oh, positivity is the way, positive is gonna be, you know, like, it trumps all, it overcomes everything. And I, maybe not quickly actually, I was doing this for a while, but then I realised after a while that it doesn't help when, for example, I'm trying to contextualise it, it's very weird what's in my head right now. So if I'm constantly being positive and I don't see the negative side of something, and someone is maybe going through that negative cycle, it's very hard to make them see the positive side. That's it. Got it. Boom. Right, okay. So, what I mean by that is, we've obviously got like, so let's say, you know, I'm trying to convince someone who's going through a rough time that it's going to be positive. There are a lot of things I can say to do that, okay? But at the same time, I've got to acknowledge, and we've got to acknowledge as humans, how the negative side is affecting someone else, because in order for them to recognize the positive sides, they also need to be able to relate to the positive side through a connection through human beings. You know, I can say, all right, you got cheated on or something like that, great. The positive is you found out what kind of person they are and you can move on with your life. Now, easy answer, that's it. You know, just go, right, you found out what they are, thank you for letting me know what kind of person you are, also really hate you, blah blah blah. But that's just a positive face value. It's not looking into the detail of how the person who maybe got cheated on or suffered some sort of loss is feeling. You gotta be able to relate and pull on the fear of all the bad thoughts of what they're going through, to pull out the negativity and put in the positivity. Now it probably sounds like I'm rambling a bit and I'm trying to make sense of it, but for me, my brain works in, I can see it. I've got a photographic memory and I've got a very practical mind. I was never academically sound, so like tests and stuff like that, I was always awful at. But what it does mean is that when I've got something in my head, I can see the picture of what I'm saying, but then I'm trying to convey it into words. So, you know, the goal is to be positive, always. It's always to be positive and always to find the positive in every situation. You know, for example, injury or something like that in sport, right, you've got a choice. You can either let the injury defeat you for a while, or you can work on your weaknesses that you can maybe train on while you're injured, or you can maybe develop your body in different ways or come back even stronger. That's the positive, okay? But then at the same time, you've got to recognize and read the situation as it happens. You know, I'm a big believer of self-analysis, and ultimately the only person you can control in your life is yourself and the choices you make. So when, for example, now I'm always trying to find the positive still, but now the difference between what I do now and what I did before is that I constantly am trying to understand why the negative happened, and then therefore connecting with the negativity in order to make it a positive. Okay, for example, recently we've been allowed back into training, into gyms, and people who follow me and have followed me for a while know that I'm a international gymnast. I train, well, before COVID, trained 6 days a week, you know, full time. That's my life. So COVID happened, and then now we're being allowed to come back into training. So the day comes that we are allowed back into training. My gym in particular, unfortunately, wasn't allowed to start training again, just due to various amount of reasons. So my initial feelings were, I was angry, I was upset. You know, I probably said a few things that weren't nice because I was just upset and angry. And I actually had a conversation with my dad about it. He's away right now, so I was on the phone. But it made me realise, it's like, I can't control it, and I preach about it all the time, and I even didn't follow my own advice. You know, I can't control it. I wish I could. Honestly, I really wish I could. I wish, because in my other lines of work, it's all about problem solving. So a wall gets put in front of me, I figure out how to break down that wall or go around it or get over it. In this situation, the wall's in front of me and there is nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing I can do to that wall. So I felt the pain, I felt the anger, and I didn't follow my own advice until I had a conversation with someone else who thinks in a similar way, my dad. So what I've achieved throughout this situation is I've found the positive. So gym wasn't allowed to open, and that was annoying. Sorry if my car is a bit loud as well. It's the car I'm in right now is very it's a sports car that we use for road racing in events and stuff like that around the world. So it's very rigid and squeaks, and you know. Anyway, so presented with the situation, can't go to the gym, been waiting 4 months. That's probably where the anger's come from. However, what can we do about it? You know, I can wait around for another week or two and then maybe get in the gym, or I can actively make an effort to change the situation. So I actually got in touch with my own club, my old club from Longridge, which I'm driving there right now, you know, to see if I can train with them just for a few days before my gym can get reopened. And by removing myself from the anger and frustration of one situation and putting all of that energy into a new positive situation, I've created a new wall that I can use to climb up, get stronger from, and then move on and grow from. Yes, it's not the ideal situation. I would like to be in my own gym where I don't have to drive maybe an hour to train or something like that. But in hindsight, little things doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to get at with this video is, how can we, everyone as individuals, be positive? You can obviously be positive, but sometimes there's things out of your control. Yes, we would all love to be in control all the time. You know, I would love to be able to go, right, I don't care what anyone says, I'll get in the gym anyway. You know, for me, that would be doable. But for other people, that's not seen as doable. And it's when there's other parties involved that are stopping you from helping yourself or controlling the situation, that you have to take the energy that you've put into it and then go, right, okay, can't change it, let's change the situation. So I'm trying to think of other examples right now of what can be classed as a good example to maybe relay to the world. You know, COVID, for example, you know, we were all put into lockdown, we were all put into a situation that we didn't want to be in, but we all had to adapt. Now, there's different ways we can approach that. You know, we've all got our individual ways of handling it, you know, but again, how can you change your situation in the moment to turn the environment, the situation into a positive? You know, for me, it was reconnecting with people who I used to train with, or it was figuring out new ways of working out. Again, not the ideal situation. I would like to be training in a gym, like doing gymnastics stuff. Couldn't do it in the time, so we do the next best thing, which is get some rings, get some parallettes, you know, work out outdoors when we can, and do different things. Another way of handling this is creating new targets for yourself. Now, I am a massive believer in targets. You should always have targets, you know, like short, medium, and long-term goals, you know, because we all have dreams, but without targets, those dreams aren't achievable. You know, for example, during lockdown, one of my targets to keep me occupied and keep me motivated, whoa, that guy was coming in that corner quick, was to learn a one-handed handstand. So 4 months on, I'm getting there, getting pretty close, can hold it for a couple of seconds now. But that is in essence what life throws at us, is problems and situations, and it's up to us to make the active choice to go, right, can I help it? It's almost like a checklist. You know, in my head it's now it is, especially after the past few months, it's right, can I control the situation? Okay, yes or no to that question. You've seen those little charts that people do, it's like yes, no, and then you follow it. So, can I control the situation? Yes or no? Yes. If you say yes, then great. Find out the best solution to the problem and do it. Great. If you can't control the situation, yeah, we have to go a bit of a longer route. So, ask your question. Can I control the situation, mate? No. Okay, right. Where then can I control the situation, or where then can I make a change to the situation that benefits me as a person? Move it to that arena. Great. Now, what are my targets for that new arena until my original arena or original situation is sorted? And I think just by doing those two things then helps us keep moving forward as individuals and as human beings, because ultimately that's all it is how we adapt and move. And the people who don't move in life are the people who have situations in front of them and don't get anywhere in life. The people who have situations and go, right, this is happening to me, can't help it, not going to do anything about it. You know, they sulk about it, or they go, oh well, you know, can't do that, what am I supposed to do? the people who are successful in life or keep moving in life are the people who are problem solvers, first and foremost, but then also situation solvers. You know, if you cannot solve your initial problem, change your situation, okay? Change the environment, change the people, change your approach to each situation. Adapting is so important in life, and I fully believe that is exactly what we've all got to do, especially in times like this where we may be in lockdown or maybe things aren't quite going our way. That's what you've got to do, adapt and overcome. And I think I've done it. I think I contextualised what I needed to do. Always takes me a little bit of time to get going on this, but you know, we're only human. Everyone's brains work in different ways. Right, I'm gonna go because I am like half an hour away from my destination, and I'm gonna put some tunes on, have a good time, have a great training session, and then get back home and eat. And actually going out for dinner tonight, which is crazy because it's gonna be the first time actually going out in 4 months. So yeah, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. I hope these videos help, and I hope everyone is coming out of lockdown in a good way, and we can all help each other to grow and become better and just enjoy life. Honestly, that's it. You know, that's the goal. We only get one of them, so why not just make the most? But yeah, right, make sure you leave me a like, comment if you enjoy the videos, and I need to pull up my Learn by Viewing podcast page up a bit more so that I can keep up to date with it, because it's a bit difficult. I run like 2 or 3 different channels now, so it's a bit of an interesting one to try and jump between them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your takes are on the situation and how you guys are changing the situation or solving problems, because I love problem solving. It's the key to life. It's like, life throws you a problem, how do I change it? Great, done. But yeah, hope to see everyone soon, and hope you're having a great time. So peace, I'll see you next time.